All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have been waiting for. Race number 1, Nick Sorensen and Max Gunther on the front row. Adam Barker and Xander have the second row. Simon Zierk and Rudolf Gunther on the third row. Andrew Lau, Mike Marshall on the fourth. Joey Gregory and Mike Dolling round out your top 10. All the drivers getting gridded up here down on the back straightaway, so they're going to have a quick start this morning. Make sure you take a moment, hit that like, follow, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that share button. Invite your friends and family. I promise the first 2 laps of this one is going to be exciting, going up and down the mountain. Some of the best drivers on iRacing, some of the best road racers on iRacing for sure. But even with the best, going up and down the mountain here is tricky, especially on cold tires. That long straightaway will put a little bit of heat in them, but not nearly enough to have all the grip the first time up the mountain. Nick Sorensen in the Ferrari in control of the start this morning. The 2 McLarens starting on the second row, third and fourth. It's going to be interesting to watch them. And of course, Mike Marshall in the Conliff Solutions Merc. That, with the long straightaways here, Merc power could come into play. Out of the final turn, everybody fires. They are away. Green flag is in the air. The season finale from Bathurst. Adam Barker pulls up into third. Simon Zierk up to fifth as they sort out single file. Mike Dolling sitting right in the slipstream of Mike Marshall as they come down the straight. And Xander to the inside in that right-hander as they go to the mountain. As they head up the mountain, Xander moves to third. Rudolf Gunther will pull up the top 5 in points. I do believe this will be his first season in the top 5. As they come to the top of the mountain, though, it is still Nick Sorensen and Max Gunther 1-2. Ferrari and Porsche followed by the 2 McLarens. If you have a favorite driver in the field, make sure you drop in the comments. Let us know who you're cheering for, or just say good morning. Or if you're on the other side of the pond, good afternoon, or wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Mike Dolling has slipped up into 8th. The Mercedes power appeared to hurt Mike Marshall going up the mountain. Of course, the Merc not the best handling car out there. Hecto 1 still hanging on at the back of the field with Joey Gregory driving it. On that first lap, the top 2 had opened a little bit of a gap, about 1.25 seconds or more. Xander is starting to reel him in, but the McLaren, as Adam gets a little bit of the grass, the McLaren is low on power compared to the others. Double checking, I do not believe we have seen a Ferrari in victory lane all season long. Does not look like it. We've had a couple of good finishes, including 2 podium finishes by Adam Barker at Le Mans. And 2 podium finishes by Andrew Lau at Spa. But could today be the day that we get a Ferrari back in victory lane? Simon Zierk in 5th, right on Adam's bumper. Simon is Mr. Consistency, but last week at Phillip Island, we saw his first 2 mistakes of the entire season. The irony of which is he had picked up a bunch of spots just going by other people's mistakes, but for the first time all season long, he made one. Max Gunther has the fastest lap so far in 2nd place. Max definitely the faster of the top 2, but at the moment he can stay with but unable to get past Sorensen. Also, as of the drop of the green flag, 3 drivers have officially locked their points positions. Adam Barker has won his 4th NSS title. Andrew Lau will come home with 2nd in points, and Mike Dolling will finish 3rd in points. Sorensen and Gunther continue to pull a gap on Xander, now almost 2 seconds behind. Adam Barker about another 1.7 seconds back from him. Simon Zierk right there with him. Rudolf Gunther currently running in 6th. Rudolf with those 2 podium finishes last week at Phillip Island. His best finishes of the season. The field already starting to spread out a little bit this morning. However, with the invert going into race 2, things will get really exciting. Sorensen appears to pull a little bit of a gap on Max in the Porsche down the straights. Max able to stay with him through the turns. Xander picks up ground coming up and down the mountain, but those straightaways, they just check out. Adam Barker still holding on to fourth. Simon Zierk back in fifth. Rudolf Gunther in sixth is starting to reel in Simon Zierk, and it looks like Andrew Lau may have had a small problem. Coming toward the final turn, this one can get a bit tricky, and he goes a bit wide and clips the wall, but manages to maintain position. Andrew Lau had been in the hunt for the title most of the season. But after points and drop races calculated, Adam Barker just came out on top. Mike Dalling in eighth seems to be closing the gap on Lau at the moment. Mike Dalling comes into the morning third in points, has also been up there in the hunt all season long. Mike Dalling won the second race at Zolder and has been top five, often podium all season long. One of Mike's best seasons so far. Last time by, Max Gunther actually set the fastest lap of the race so far. Let's see if he can do it again. Not this time, but Max Gunther and Nick Sorensen times almost identical. Max was 0.05 of a second faster last time. Xander in third has started closing back in on the leader. He was well over 2 seconds behind, but now is 1.5 seconds behind Max Gunther, and as they go up the mountain, he is really closing that gap. I do know that Xander did not get any significant practice. His first laps in the McLaren were during qualifying. That hasn't seemed to matter though to Xander. He is still closing that gap. The only place Sorensen and Gunther pull away is on the straightaway. Joey Gregory only in his second race of the season. Look forward to seeing how he does going into the next season. Hopefully we see him in competition in every race, as he has been getting consistently faster as well. they turn back into the mountain. Xander 2.3 seconds behind Max Gunther. We'll take another look once they get to the bottom. Sorensen still unable to put any significant space between him and Max. Mike Dalling has gotten past Andrew Lau. Let's see what happened. Oh, out of the first turn, Lau just goes too wide. Goes through the gas. Dalling had been on his bumper, found an opportunity. Xander now 2.8 seconds behind. He actually lost time over the mountain this time. Oh, Xander's in trouble. Oh, ouch. This is a very tricky part of the track, and he just clips the grass right before that turn and cannot get it wound up before getting into the wall. Xander did toe to pit road, and now Andrew Lau is on pit road. Hey, good morning, JR. How are you, buddy? Adam Barker now pulls up into third after Xander's incident. Wow, he is getting close to the wall there. Simon Zierk in fourth. Rudolph Gunther now back in fifth. Mike Dalling now to sixth. Mike Marshall in seventh. Joey Gregory in eighth. And Andrew Lau in ninth. And Nick Sorensen so far has led every single lap. Tanya, I have to agree. Especially Ecto 1 coming down the mountain there. Two laps to go, I do believe, for Nick Sorensen. Can he hold Max off just a little longer? Adam now in third as Simon Zierk actually closing the gap back behind. Simon just 2 seconds behind, and Rudolph Gunther is gaining on Simon. Mike Dalling back in sixth, has pulled a gap on Mike Marshall in seventh, Joey Gregory in eighth, Andrew Lau in ninth. It looks like Xander will not finish race one. And as of right now, with the 7-car invert going into race two, it looks like Mike Marshall will be starting on the pole for race two. Oh! Nick Sorensen, the leader, is in the wall. Coming down the mountain, Sorensen gets in the wall, and now Max is on the... Oh, Sorensen again gets the wall. Max Gunther has gone by and taken the lead. Sorensen now back to second, but Adam Barker is reeling him in. One incident has changed this whole race. Good morning, Jared. Should see the drivers pick up the white flag this time. And how will this race change as Adam Barker is going for second? Sorensen with significant aero damage on the Ferrari. Max has a 2.8 second lead, but it is closing. Adam on the march. Sorensen in third, Simon Zierk in fourth. Rudolf Gunther also lurking back in fifth. Jared, I don't know. I think she was working on the add-on to her house this morning. Not that I have heard, JR, but I will be happy to double check. Sorensen back in third after that incident will now have to defend from Simon Zierk. Max Gunther's lead 3 seconds. Adam is closing that gap, but with just a couple of straightaways left, the Porsche may have the advantage here. And Jared cheering on Nicole despite Nicole not being here. I haven't either, JR, but I haven't asked since we talked. Max Gunther headed toward the final turn. And on the second to last lap, he takes the lead and pulls off the win in race number 1. Adam Barker brings the McLaren home in second. Sorensen limps the Ferrari to third. And now they will get a quick warm-up and invert the top 7. And let's talk to our top 3. Starting with third place, Nick Sorensen. Hey, Nick, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug, what's up?
Hey, so you dominated all but pretty much the last 2 laps.
Well, thank you, and I guess.
I mean, you had a fast car. What happened coming up the mountain that second to last lap?
Well, that just proves that going over that hill in the mountain is just so treacherous. You have to be perfect every single time. Hit the curb a little bit, and it shot me off to the right into the barrier. And all I could do from there was try to stay out of Max's way. I didn't want to. I knew he was get by me and didn't want to wreck his race.
Well, man, it was an awesome run. Now you're going to have to fight your way forward. But can you get up there and pull off the win here?
Yeah, I hope so. And everyone's pretty quick. And like I just proved, one mistake in the mountain can be the end of your race. So let's hope we keep it out of there this time.
All right, buddy. Good luck. Great job.
Thanks, Doug.
Nick Sorensen obviously disappointed. Yes, he said he wanted to send it. Adam Barker comes home in second. Adam, that last couple laps really went your way, but you were still looking fast in the McLaren.
Oh, yeah, Doug. It was that was an intense race. That was really good. Yeah, like I said, tried to send it on the on lap 1, but Xander was a little bit too quick and trying to hang it around the outside with cold tires, and that understeer would have just put me in a wall. So I had to give Xander the position, but everyone's getting a bit too close to those walls, touching them, and doing some serious damage to the car. So I was lucky to stay out of the walls and just keep it clean. Hopefully we can see we'll see what we can do for the mate race.
Well, you are now officially the champ of the season after starting that race, so congratulations. Another awesome season, your 4th title.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a fun one. Had a couple of wins this season, which is one win. It's always good against these guys. I've been very fortunate to be quite consistent through most of the races, so it's been helpful just to keep chugging out and just churning laps.
And I have to ask, because one of the fans wants to know, why the McLaren today?
McLaren's always pretty good around Bathurst, and it's just fun to drive. It's one of the tracks that it actually likes, so it sort of suits the car. The Ferrari's a little bit quicker, but I feel like the fronts go away really quick on the Ferrari, so McLaren seems to be the way forward for me at least.
Well, they also said the fans want Hello Kitty back on the car, so you're going to have to fix that next time you run the McLaren.
Oh, well, it is on mine. It should be pink.
It was. I just did not see the kitty, but we'll take a closer look on the grid.
Okay.
Great job, man. Congrats.
Thank you very much.
There you go, Jared. There's your answer. And finally, our winner, Max Gunther. Max, I have to ask the obvious question. If not for Nick hitting the wall, could you have passed him? You stayed in his tire tracks the whole race, but did you have enough to get by him?
The Ferrari is really strong in a straight line, so I couldn't even get close there. But no, I think I wouldn't have gotten by.
Well, you did a great job. You put yourself where you needed to be and got the opportunity to take the win this morning.
Yeah, it was unlucky for Nick, but was luck for me, so I take it.
And despite only being here, looks like this is only your 6th week, you have won every single week you have raced this season.
Yeah, I just hadn't any time to race that much, but I think I would have been quite strong this season.
I would have to, based on the numbers, I really have to agree. You definitely would have been.
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, unfortunately.
Congratulations, yet another win, and hopefully coming from the back, you'll survive to get back up there.
Thank you, Doug.
Max Gunther wins race 1, so he will have to start the race from 7th place and fight his way through the field. And can the Ferrari pull off the win here? If either the Ferrari or the McLaren win, it would be the first win by either car this season, and it would be the first win by a McLaren in GT3 NSS history. Here we go, race number 2. Mike Marshall starts on the pole after the invert, Rudolf Gunther in second. Mike Dolling and Simon Zierk have the second row, Nick Sorensen and Adam Barker, the new champion, on the third row. Max Gunther and Joe Gregory on the fourth. Andrew Lau and Xander rounding out the field. As we mentioned, this is the end of the season, but they will be looking for new drivers for next season. Let us know if you're interested. Drop in the comments. We will be happy to get you the information. JR, hopefully it was just a minor kiss in the wall. Porsche pace car hits pit road. Here we go. Mike Marshall in control out of the final turn. Marshall fires there away. Green flag is in the air. Mike will have the advantage here on the straightaway with the Mercedes power. I am sorry to hear that, JR. That is rough. Rudolph Gunther sitting right on the bumper in second. Things are about to get dicey coming up the mountain. The McLaren's now side by side. Sorensen pulls ahead in the Ferrari. Oh, this left-hander is always tricky. Adam Barker comes out on top, and there is Hello Kitty for you, Jared, right on the roof. Mike Marshall at the top of the mountain still has the lead. The Porsche of Rudolph has not been able to get by yet. Simon Zierk all over Mike Dolling's back bumper. We saw Sorensen have some problems coming down the mountain earlier. Everybody makes it down okay. No walls were hit. Now, holy cow, Rudolph Gunther got a little squirrely out of the turn. Now the long run down the straight. Rudolph managing to stay in the slipstream of the Mercedes. This one is going to be a battle the whole race long. Holy cow, Nick Sorensen really waited as late as possible to brake. And a big spread as they try and go 2 and 3 wide. Adam Barker down to the inside on Sorensen. But you heard him say that Ferrari has the advantage on the straightaway. He's got to try and get clear of Sorensen out of one. But Sorensen pulls the nose ahead. Xander dropping into the slipstream on the Ferrari, trying to get past Adam Barker. And Xander is pushing Nick Sorensen's Ferrari down the straightaway. See a lot of bump drafting in NASCAR, not a lot in GT3 racing. Mike Marshall has the fastest lap so far. Adam Barker had to drop back in line, now back in 7th place. Coming down the mountain single file, nose to tail. And everybody, you heard Adam say, everybody was really pushing the limits of how close they could get to the wall. That shot definitely showed that. You have to wonder, knowing that we have pit stops this morning, some races this season, for the first time, we have seen tire changes. As now Xander looks to the inside on Sorensen. And Xander pulls it off quickly. Adam Barker tries to take advantage. And the two McLarens get by the Ferrari of Nick Sorensen. And Joey Gregory just set the fastest lap of the race in 10th place. Get it, Joey. Now the two McLarens are battling down the straightaway as Simon Zierk looks to the inside on Mike Dolling. But Mike able to go deeper into the turn as they go up the mountain. Mike holds on to third. And side by side, Adam Barker and Nick Sorensen. Adam pulls ahead. Well, after a couple laps in race one, the field was really splitting up. Not here, as Rudolph Gunther has taken the lead over Mike Marshall. Xander has had a problem on the top of the mountain. Xander too hard on the rumble strips. Slide, 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 kisses the wall, but does save it and keep going. Rudolph Gunther has started to open up a gap on, holy cow, Mike Dolling, Simon Zierk. Simon had to take a big chunk of the rumble strip, but holds on to it. Adam Barker is taking every opportunity, every open door. Dolling back to the inside, side by side with the McLaren. This battle Sorensen gets to the inside on Mike Dolling. Max Gunther trying to follow him through. Sorensen clears. Max Gunther trying to get a little side draft, any help he can get. With Andrew Lau closing up behind, they're going to go too wide into the first turn. Now Adam Barker side by side with Gunther. Max tries to send it in on the inside, can't get the run. Rudolph Gunther set the fastest lap last time by, has almost a 1 second lead now over Mike Marshall. Simon Zierk now up into third, right on Marshall's back bumper. Oh, Simon gets together with Mike Marshall. Mike goes through the grass, but recovers. Just a little love tap. Marshall manages to save it. Let's take one more look at that. Simon was trying, and he was right on the back bumper, and holy cow, what a save. Mike Marshall still holds on to third. Adam Barker now coming by to fourth. Simon Zierk now up to second. And still this big battle with Porsche versus Ferrari. As Max Gunther finally pulls up into fifth. Nick Sorensen now to sixth. Andrew Lau on the attack in seventh and Dolling in eighth. Joey Gregory lurking right behind in ninth. And get this, Xander just set the fastest lap of the race. He's the only driver to get down into the 203s so far. He is closing in on everybody. Rudolph Gunther, meanwhile, has a 2.8 second lead now over Simon Zierk, Mike Marshall, and Adam Barker. Max Gunther still lurking, Mike Dolling and Nick Sorensen back in 6th and 7th. Andrew Lau has caught him in 8th, Joey Gregory right behind in 9th. And Xander in 10th is reeling them in like lightning. Rudolph now has a 2.8 second lead over Simon Zierk. He is checked out. Oh, Adam Barker has a little bobble there as he comes by Mike Marshall. Max Gunther is going to follow him through. That got sketchy. Nick Sorensen has had a problem. Nick right on Mike Dolling's back bumper. Oh, he got too much of the rumble strip. Ended up hard in the outside wall. Tries to get her slowed down, but gets the wall, loses the whole front clip. Sorensen did end up towing to pit road. Simon gained a little bit of time on Rudolph last time by. The gap now down to 2.7. They are pulling away at the moment from Adam Barker and Max Gunther. Mike Marshall now back in 5th. Mike Doling in 6th. Andrew Lau right behind in 7th. Joey still lurking in 8th. And look who is back in the fight. Xander is on a mission. He has been setting the fastest laps every single lap the last few times. Xander uses a slipstream, gets a run. Comes by Joey to take 8th. Andrew Lau now just ahead in 7th. They're all pretty much lined up for him. Hey, good morning, Cody. Joey Gregory has had a problem back behind. Headed into the final turn. Oh, a little too much power, a little too soon. Slides it around. Sounds like a lot of the drivers are just kissing the wall this morning. But Simon Zierk is on fire. He is reeled in Rudolph Gunther by 1 second. Now 1.7 seconds behind. Oh, Cody, I am so sorry, buddy. I hope everything's all right. Mike Marshall has had a problem. Oh, just clips that rumble strip, gets the wall, manages to keep it rolling, but man, a rough morning for Marshall. That Mercedes does have a huge power advantage. Adam Barker has had a problem. The champ is in trouble. Oh, Oh, gets too much of the rumble strip coming through and ends up going around. What a change. Mike Marshall is on pit road. Oh, I got you, Cody. Well, glad to hear she's going to be okay. I think you might be one of the few that love this track, Cody. Nick Sorensen is back off pit road. Meanwhile, Xander, after the early incident and falling way behind, has reeled everybody in, is now up to fourth. He is just under 6 seconds behind Max Gunther in third, but he is gaining. We talked about... Oh! Xander completely misses the turn. I bet he is, yeah, he has got a slowdown he is trying to take care of, which has allowed Dowling to close in. Dowling has gotten by. And now Xander shoots back, and he is going to try and reclaim that position. We talked about the dramatic change in the race during race one, that last 2 laps. Everything got turned upside down. This race has been non-stop. Simon Ziert currently in second, 2.1 seconds back. Excuse me. Simon was closing in on Rudolph, but that gap is stabilized. Max sits in third, 3.6 seconds back. Xander back up into fourth, but 8 seconds back. However, he is closing, and he has Dowling, Andrew Lau, and Adam Barker not far behind. I have never tested the supercars here, Cody. I don't like this track at all to race. Love broadcasting it. Oh, it's a nightmare to race it in anything. Although the idea of the supercars here does sound interesting. Rudolph Gunther still has the lead, but it is now down to 1.5 seconds. Max Gunther in third, 3.5 seconds back. Xander in fourth, 7.8 seconds back and closing. Despite the power deficiency with the McLaren, it has not slowed Xander down at all. Mike Dowling in fifth, Andrew Lau in sixth, and Adam Barker in seventh. Joey Gregory having a great run this morning, currently in eighth. Mike Marshall in the Mercedes, a lot of problems this morning, currently running in ninth. And Nick Sorensen, who dominated most of the first race, is back in 10th after problems early. Heartbreaking morning for Sorensen. It looked like he was going to run away with the win in race one. Xander just set the fastest lap of the race in fourth place and is the only driver to break the 2:03 mark. I don't know where Xander has found all this speed. I think he might have nitrous for the straights. He is flying this morning. Plus, I mean, his car spits flames, so there is that. Oh! Xander goes into a drift coming over the top of the mountain, loses the back end completely. Andrew Lau has a problem trying to... Holy cow, let's take a look at the replay. Xander just came over the top of the mountain, gets the wall, backs into the wall. Andrew Lau right behind him. Andrew just trying to... Oh! He gets off in the dirt. And Andrew gets into the wall, spins it around, and Adam Barker has to avoid him. And Adam just goes wide, out of the off track. He has lost a bit of time to slowdowns. Meanwhile, Rudolph Gunther's lead is disappearing quickly. Simon Zierk has caught him. I will have to try that. I might even stream that later, Cody. Cody, that does... I do love driving the supercars, but not a fan of this track, like I said, so I might have to try that combo, though. Adam Barker has gone to pit road. Meanwhile, Xander is officially out of the race. I think Lau may also be out of the race. And yes, Andrew Lau, second in points, officially out of the race. Simon Zierk has ran down that gap to get right to Rudolph's back bumper, and the BMW definitely has the power advantage over the Porsche here. Cody, I have that same problem in the SR8. I tried to run the SR8 road course one season, tried to run the season, kept getting walls. Max Gunther in third is closing in on the top two. He is 3.1 seconds back. Mike Dolling now in fourth. Joey Gregory in fifth. This could be his best finish of the season. Mike Marshall back out on track in sixth. Adam Barker back out on track in seventh. And Nick Sorensen still recovering in eighth. While the Porsche is faster down the hill and through the corners than the BMW is, again, as we hear so often, the Porsche is still trying to kill you. Simon looks to the inside. Nope, can't get there yet. Simon may very well just be trying to force Rudolph to make a mistake here. Max Gunther, meanwhile, under 3 seconds behind Simon now. He continues to reel him in. Mike Dolling now up to 4th, Joey in 5th. Adam Barker has officially won the championship. Andrew Lau officially coming home in 2nd in points. Mike Dolling comes home 3rd in points. Simon Zierk and Rudolph Gunther battling for 4th in points. Yannick would be battling for that, but he is not here this morning. But while they are battling for it, the points, they are also battling on track. Simon losing a little bit of ground that time to Rudolph Gunther. Max Gunther continues to reel them both in. Some of the driver, here we go, pit stops. Rudolph Gunther is in. Simon Zierk is going to stay out and take the lead. Max Gunther also on pit road. Adam Barker did pit after his incident. The question is, did he get enough fuel to make it to the end? Andrew, you had a great run going, buddy. Mike Dolling stays out. He is going to move up into 2nd while the Gunthers are on pit road. Joey currently in 3rd, Adam Barker in 4th. If Adam got fuel last time he was in due to the incident, I think he might be right on the fence of going the distance. Max and Rudolph back off pit road together. Joey Gregory is in. Oh, Adam really clipping the rumble strips. Adam will not be coming in this time. Expect to see Mike Marshall and Nick Sorensen in. Both had pitted earlier due to damage. And it looks like Mike has some more damage on the left side, but both of them pitted too early to go the distance on fuel. Andrew, that'll teach you to go on vacation, buddy. Andrew, just send me all your money. You won't have to worry about it anymore. Simon Zierk gives up the lead. He is on pit road. Dolling is not pitted yet. Should see him in this time. And here he comes. Now the question is, Rudolph, can he get past Simon and Mike while they are on pit road? And is anybody taking tires? Mike Marshall is in. Simon is going to take tires. Looks like quite a bit of the field did take tires this morning. Mike Dolling also taking tires. Rudolph Gunther is coming by. Simon on the way out. They are going to be side by side. Simon pulls even. Max not far behind, kicks it out a little bit out of one, and it is a drag race down the stretch. Normally I'd say this goes to the BMW, but Rudolph had the advantage of momentum as he came out of one and manages to pull just a bit ahead. Simon not giving up yet. But Rudolph clears him as they go up the mountain. Mike Dolling now to fourth, Adam Barker in fifth, Joey in sixth, Sorensen in seventh, Mike Marshall still on pit road for repairs. And that definitely closed everybody back up. Max is now just 1.25 seconds behind. The top three are still extremely close. And Max Gunther comes by and takes a position from Simon. Max now to second place, Simon in third. And Simon is headed back to pit road. Something has gone horribly wrong here. But Rudolph Gunther's lead now 3.5 seconds over Max. Could we see Rudolph Gunther's first win this morning? He has consistently been top 5, consistently getting podiums. He has definitely put himself in position multiple times to get the win. Luck has not gone his way. Could today be the day? Max is his son now 3.5 seconds back. In case any of my kids were watching, if we're ever in a situation like this, I'm about to win a race, and you want to pass me, you are out of my will. Not happening. Mike Dolling in third, 17 seconds back from Max, but he is gaining a little ground. Simon Zierk, after that quick pit stop, is in fourth. Looks like he just stopped for some repairs. But now is 7 seconds out behind Mike Dolling. Adam Barker still in the top 5 in 5th. Joey in 6th and Nick Sorensen in 7th. Sorensen is closing in on Joey, but he is 19 seconds back. Rudolph Gunther a 3.5 second lead over Max. The field, at least for the moment, fairly spread out. Max Gunther is gaining a little bit on Rudolph at the moment. But they have definitely had a back and forth since Max moved to second on the time gap. Nick Sorensen, who dominated race number 1 until the second to last lap. All right, does anybody know why Sorensen's visor says lamp? Is it because I love lamp? Rudolf Gunther coming off the mountain has a 3.3 second lead. It appears Rudolph is faster through the mountain, but Max is faster on the straight, at least for the moment. Hey, good morning, Russell. How are you, bud? It is looking like a Gunther 1 and 2. Mike Dawling still holding on to third. Simon Zierk, who after his second stop was 7 seconds behind Dawling, has closed it down to 4.5 seconds. Nick Sorensen back in 7th is also chomping seconds off of 6th place Joey Gregory. Nick Sorensen just set his fastest lap so far. Still nobody has topped Xander's lap. Nobody else has gotten into the 202s. You got big plans for the weekend, Russell? It is still a Gunther 1-2, but now Rudolph has pulled out to a 3.5 second gap. Meanwhile, Simon Zierk has chopped away another second on Mike Dawling. Hey, Bobby, thank you so much for the stars, buddy. Well, Russell, you might want to make sure you have your notifications turned on at some point this weekend. Angie's going to do her first Carb Cup race. So you will definitely be entertained. Rudolph and Max 1-2, Mike Dawling in third, but Simon is just chomping away. It's under 3 seconds now. And Sorensen has knocked another 2 seconds off Joey. He is now 14 seconds behind. Last time by, he was 2.5 seconds faster. Does he have the time to close the gap? Russell, most definitely. Mike Dawling sits in third. Simon Zierk in fourth has closed down to 2.8 seconds. Adam Barker in fifth has overcome quite a bit in this race. Plus, he is shooting flames. And you can see how hard he is pushing it. Tire smoke coming off as he comes down the mountain. Hello Kitty, definitely on the attack today. Bobby, I'm hoping this next season I'm back in the car a lot more. Max definitely hanging it all out, trying to catch up to Dad, but he is still 2.3 seconds behind as Rudolph continues to have the advantage going up and down the mountain. Mike Dalling sitting in third, Simon Zierk in fourth, has just about caught him, now a 1.7 second gap. Sorensen was really reeling in Joey Gregory, but now it's stabilized about 13.7 seconds back. Max continues to try and reel in his dad, now 1.8 seconds back. Mike Dalling now has to get very defensive. Simon Zierk 1.3 seconds back. Adam Barker back in fifth, is closing in on the cars ahead, but the gap may be too great with 7.5 minutes left. He is 11.25 seconds behind Zierk. Meanwhile, Simon is just chomping away at the gap on Mike Dalling, but here's the fun part. They don't call Mike the Minister of Defense for nothing. It's going to be difficult for Simon to get by. As they go back up the mountain, Rudolph pulls a little bit of a gap, but is progressively getting smaller. Max now 1.9 seconds behind. Mike Dalling in third, now has Simon in fourth. Once they get to the straight, Simon will have a huge advantage. Be able to take advantage of the slipstream and the BMW's power. Nick Sorensen is back on pit road. He had stopped earlier in the race, this likely a fuel stop. Rudolph has pulled a big gap suddenly on Max Gunther. After coming off the mountain, they're 2.4 seconds apart. Looks like Max may have had trouble up top. Meanwhile, Simon has gotten right to the back bumper on Mike Dalling. But as we mentioned, Mike will know the Minister of Defense never makes it easy. This will be one heck of a battle. Simon might get him on that long straightaway. Likely to see Mike defend that, what will be the inside line going into that second turn to head up the mountain. Mike definitely hanging to the right side of the track, not opening the door at all. Adam Barker back behind while they battle is starting to gain some ground. And Mike will lead him up the mountain one more time. Max 2.1 seconds behind the old man Rudolph in the lead. With just a couple of laps left to go, can Rudolph hold off his son? And can the Minister of Defense hold off Simon Zierk while Adam Barker is reeling them both in? Adam is 8 seconds back, but he is gaining. Last time by, he gained a second and a half. Mike Dolling still managing to hold Simon off for third. Max still trying to close in, has closed the gap now down to 1.7 seconds. Adam Barker is still gaining, but not nearly as fast, although he did set his fastest lap last time by and was well over 1.5 seconds faster than the cars ahead. That time by, he was only about 1.1 seconds faster than Simon Zierk, but the battle between Dolling and Zierk may allow him to get caught up here. Max still trying to reel in Rudolph, still 1.6 seconds apart. The real question now is, can Simon Zierk get by the Minister of Defense? And remember, this is a battle in the points as well. Mike Dolling sits third in points, Simon Zierk in fourth in points. However, Mike Dolling, due to starting this race, locked up that third in points. But you know Simon would like to finish the season getting past him. Rudolph Gunther comes through the final turn. White flag is in the air one more time around for Rudolph. Can he hold off his son, Max, one more lap? And can the Minister of Defense hold off Simon Zierk for one more lap? Adam Barker sitting back in fifth as they battle, still chopping away, but it's going to take something huge to catch up to Simon, now 7.5 seconds ahead. Joey having his best run in sixth. Sorensen back in seventh despite dominating the first race. Max has really sent it as they were coming up the mountain. He's closed within a second. Simon's still all over the back bumper of Mike Dolling. Rudolph has had the advantage all morning going up and down the mountain, but now Max has been faster on the straights. Rudolph trying to drive in the mirror and at the windshield, trying to keep Max Gunther behind him. All I got to say is, don't do it, Max. Through the final turn, Max gives it one more send. It will not be enough. Rudolph Gunther gets his first GT3 NSS win at Bathurst. Max comes home in second. There is still a race for third. Dalling still holds him off. Simon all over the bumper. One more shot at it. Can't get enough. Mike Dolan comes home in third. Wow. Let's talk to our top three, starting with Mike. Hey, Mike, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug. Oh, man, what a race.
That last 2 laps had to have worn you out a bit.
Oh, man, that was intense. And especially with all of the overtaking with Nick and fighting too wide with him through the mountain. I don't know if you saw that, but my God.
Yeah, that was a bit crazy, but that last lap really got you and Simon really going at it there.
Yeah, it was fun. Man, it's hard holding him back. It's hard.
Well,
but it was good. I enjoyed that.
You did it. You came home third in points, third on track. Congratulations, Mike.
Thanks, Doug. That was fun. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Whew.
Obviously, Mike a little worn out. Let's talk to second place, Max Gunther. Max, the all-important question here is, had you gotten to his back bumper, would you have moved your dad for the win?
I wouldn't have moved him, but I definitely would have tried to overtake him.
You guys, you were reeling him in, and obviously he seemed to be faster up the mountain. But wow, nice landing, by the way. But
Thank you.
you were faster on the straightaways, and were gaining basically every time you guys went up the mountain. The gap stabilized, but you beat him on the rest of the track.
Yeah, I just made a couple of mistakes, and he actually drove flawlessly. So it's really he had a really great race, and yeah, it was great.
It definitely was. Your dad gets his first win, and man, a great job coming home in second.
Yeah, it's a Gunther 1-2. That's all that counts.
Gunther 1-2, man. Great job today, buddy.
Thanks, man.
And finally, for the first time ever, Rudolph, it is long overdue. You finally beat your kids and get to victory lane.
Hey, thanks, Doug. Yeah, that was great. I'm really, really happy with that race.
I can imagine. I was actually saying in the comments, if I was racing with one of my daughters and they tried to make a pass on me on the last lap, they would be disowned. They would be out of the world and everything.
Yeah. I didn't talk about that with Max, but I think he felt something like that. But actually, my tires were really, really dead, and I think 1 or 2 more laps and he would have passed me.
Well, you definitely had the speed advantage all race long, going up the mountain and back down. He was pulling closer on the straightaways, but man, up and down the mountain, you had him beat every time.
Yeah, I was really happy with that section. I think the setup was great for me and for my kind of driving. So and I really loved this track. So everything was fine, and of course I had the luck that Simon hit the wall after the pit stop, where I forgot to take tires, which is really not clever.
Well, it did not seem to matter this morning. Rudolph finally getting to victory lane. Congratulations, man.
Thanks, Doug. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Rudolph Gunther finally gets to victory lane at Mount Panorama. What an end to the season. Don't forget, the next few nights we're off. No broadcast, but we will have some fun streams, including hopefully seeing Angie run a Carb Cup race. That'll be interesting. And, of course, don't forget to check out GT3 NSS. If you're interested in joining them, hit me up. We'll make sure to get you into the Discord and get you racing with them in 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope y'all had as much fun as I did. Y'all have a great night.